Well, life's so alright, controlling this crazy space.
Welcome to the madness indeed. Holy cow. I was going to hold off and get about, 5-10 videos put together before I started publishing any. And, but, the things that are going on right now, I am just blown away. I've got to get in on this a little bit because us Gen Xers, we're entertained by this stuff. I mean, between what happened, another person trying to take out Trump, okay, and then PDiddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, is denied bail. And I heard a little bit more about what was going on with him, and man, you've got to be kidding me. And then we have this whole pager thing with Hezbollah. We're going to kind of touch a little bit on this other stuff, but before we get going on this, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're a Gen Xer, a millennial, a boomer, a Gen Z, if you, God knows, if I can get a couple of Gen Alphas, I wouldn't believe it, but I mean, Gen Alpha actually paying attention to somebody like me, that'd be great. Hey, just paying attention, just subscribe. So, like, and tell me what and comment down below on some of these subjects here, because I mean, why would the Trump thing become a Gen X thing? I'm going to tell you why. Because if you've seen the picture of the guy, the dude's a Gen Xer. He ain't right in the head, for starters. I think he drank way too much water from the garden hose. I'm thinking that was probably kind of not really very clean water. I've checked him out just a little bit, and I can't say his name, so I ain't even going to bother. But he was going from Hawaii to Ukraine trying to recruit people. Said he had recruited as many as 100 people to be there in that. And this is a true good versus evil. And it's like, wow, really? I mean, he was. And then when they did get him, when they fired at him, the Secret Service fired at him. He had a couple of vests hanging up in front of him, and he was aiming between them, I guess, or something like that. Lots of questions still involved in that. I'm not going to presume to know much about it. Okay, I just want to say, wow. And then the other thing with the P Diddy, I mean, we all knew. I mean, this whole thing about P Diddy, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. He's a Gen X icon from. He became popular as Puff Daddy in like '96. Okay, so when a lot of us were in our 20s, he was popular, and he was his stuff was in the clubs, and he was all over that stuff. So the whole idea that what he got involved in, a lot of this stuff's been bubbling up to the surface just in the past few years, and this man was okay, we got to back it up here a little bit, because I am a Christian, and therefore we all know that we're supposed to at least give the appearance, at the very minimum, of being forgiving. I haven't heard him ask for forgiveness yet, but then again, I don't know him. I don't know his heart. I'm hoping this guy he needs a come to Jesus moment, doesn't he? Okay, and then and then this other thing that we found out about today, these pagers. Okay, stop right there. Hang on a second. Who here had a pager back in the day? Okay, I had it. I had a couple of them. All right, and they were cool. They were the thing. I mean, and I didn't even know there were really people that still used them. It blew me away that, first off, the people still, and then I did a little light digging, okay, didn't really dig very deep, but I found out that one of the reasons that people use them is because they don't have Bluetooth, and they're not tracked. So, and, they don't have GPS on them. So, they're not working the same. And that's one of the reasons. I can appreciate that. The other reason that people are using them is because another reason people use them is for nostalgia. I would probably use one for nostalgia. I think it'd be really cool to have one again. Other reasons are just the fact that when a pager goes off, you look at it and you say, hey, am I going to answer that? Am I going to call them up? What and you have a little more control over it, because if you have your cell phone, the phone rings and you're in the middle of something and you have no choice, but to deal with it on some level or another. It's going to interrupt far more than a pager going off. So these are some of the reasons people use them, and it really kind of blows me away, because apparently there were like 1,500 Hezbollah agents, they called them, in Lebanon. And these things were blowing up. And it's like, wait a second. I had to think about it. How do you make a pager blow up? Are we talking about something like, you remember the Samsung Note 5, I think it was? Was it the 5? You tell me down below. Was it the 5? There was blowing up. I think it was, and I think I skipped one generation of the Samsung Note series because it just so happens I actually skipped 2 or 3. I get a phone, I hold on to it for years. So, was that one of the was that what was going on? And I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense because they're all going off all at once. So what I heard. And, remember, I'm not that intelligent. And if you wonder about that, just listen to my podcast enough. You'll figure it out. But what I heard was that the apparently Mossad, the Israeli Secret Service or somebody in Israeli intercepted these pagers as they're on their way to Lebanon to be used by Hezbollah. And they put a small 1 to 3 gram charge inside each one. I imagine all the work that involved. That, and then they released them. And now they caught them at customs or how they did it. I have no idea. I'm actually impressed. Okay, this is like holy cow. Now I'm not making an inference that I'm necessarily backing Israel or backing Hezbollah or against Hamas or whatever. We can get into that another day because politics is something I'm kind of avoiding with this channel, because that can be a mess. That can turn into a mess, and all of a sudden you got it. And I'll be honest, I don't know enough to be able to do it. So it's like, but this is some of the things that are happening around the world right now that are making me really go, WTF? Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, what's going on in the world? Why are we going so crazy with things right now? And as much as I think it's an exciting time to live, could we get some boring time too? We got an election coming up. It's going to be a really big deal. So, I don't know who you're going to vote for. Just go out and vote. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, just go out, get out there, express your votes, do your right to vote in the United States. You have that right. I'm a big believer in civil rights. Okay, that's where I'm at. And so if you want to do it, if you, I believe you definitely should. So anyway, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, I'm out. Try to figure out. Tell me down below what you think about what's going on with some of these things happening. We're gonna get a little. We might dig a little deeper into some of it, but I just wanted to get this out real quick because WTF, man, what's going on? All right, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, I'm out.